Hello, America. My name is Bruce Bongard, virtual presidential candidate under the Proudican Party. This event is being sponsored by www.cf2008ontape.ning.com. Section 6, Social Issues. Question number 1. Are there any social issues you feel strongly about and would like to discuss or clarify? Social issues. It's a very tough and complex set of issues. It's very gray in that we have a balance between federal laws, state laws, and then we also have moral and religious factors coming into play to try and answer and make decisions on some of these very difficult issues. For example, being Catholic, I am on the right side. I am pro-life in every sense of the word, in that I believe that life begins at the moment of conception. No exceptions. I am not for the death penalty. I do not believe in capital punishment because I believe that even the most hardened criminals are entitled to that sanctity of life value. Redemption, rehabilitation. Who am I, personally, the one to judge whether or not that person can be redeemed, whether or not that person can be saved? I don't think it's my decision. I don't think it's your decision. I know it is God's decision. And so that's the perspective that I'm on in that particular case. In terms of embryonic stem cell research, I'm not for that, but I am for adult stem cell research. Once again, I'm for anything that will help with life. In terms of my Bonded for Life initiative that I was just talking about, all those sort of aspects are where my personality, my persona, and my ideals come from. Now, I've realized that I personally have made mistakes in my life that have led me down a dark path. About 12 years ago, my personality is kind of a compulsive, obsessive type compulsive approach, and so I actually started down a path that was rather dark and rather dangerous, and I feel free to really discuss that with all of you, because it was an addiction that I went through. I was basically at one point addicted to voyeurism, so I actually pursued various different means, engaging in various different behaviors with that, and it was a very dark period in my life personally. However, I was able to rise up from that addiction, overcome it, and transfer those negative aspects of that behavior into more of a positive set of behaviors. If I can do it, I believe anybody is able to improve the life in which they live. There were external circumstances from my own personal background that caused a lot of that, and none of that needs to be discussed here. But please realize that this addictive type behavior was something that was able to be overcome, and so I believe wholeheartedly in rehabilitation. In terms of other issues, there are things such as gay marriage that I have a problem with. I'm not sure where I exactly fall in line with that particular issue. I believe that there is definitely a loving relationship there that exists in gay marriage. But there again, who am I to make a judgment on another person and another person's behavior? I don't think I'm entitled to be able to do that. However, constitutionally, I would seek the guidance of federal laws and state laws to make that kind of decision. I do not think it should be constitutionally mandated within our laws for gay marriage. Question number 2, is there a clear enough separation between the federal and state government to adequately address social issues? In some cases there is very clear distinctions. In other cases it's very gray. I believe the more we delve into these particular social issues, the more it becomes a quandary. The more we can make things very basic and hard, black and white in terms of social issues, I think from a legal perspective, the better off we will probably be. Question number 3, what role and responsibility should the United States take in terms of addressing illegal immigration? Is this an economic, social, or moral issue? I believe it's both economic and a moral imperative issue. I believe that we should do everything in our power to bring immigration from that perspective of when people used to come to the United States, how it was the great melting pot. Immigration was readily accepted in that it was a growth spring from within. People were coming to the United States because they were inspired to do better and to create a better life for themselves. Having said all that, my prolution number 2, which is the energy solution, creates an avenue where we can prevent illegal immigration into the United States. Basically by looking at, instead of a border solution, looking at it as a physical barrier technology solution, I think is the way to go. And then stressing cultural upbringing and education to elevate immigrants into a better standing within our individual states. Question number 4. What is your perspective or solution regarding illegal drugs and widespread drug use, both illegal and prescription within the United States? Well, from that perspective, also prolution number 2 is that physical barrier that prevents widespread illegal drug trafficking into the United States. I believe we need to secure our borders. I believe that is the approach to go, an energy type of solution. I believe that we definitely have a problem in the U.S. with illegal drugs. We need to get that under control. We need everyone to work to eliminate that problem. It's a perception thing in terms of, do we want to have illegal drugs coming into the U.S. or, on the other hand, getting to NAFTA and all that? Is there some sort of looseness that we can associate with that aspect of our society? My feeling is drugs, illegal drugs, bad. We need to do everything we can to eliminate that problem. Question number 5. How would you strengthen the role of family in an effort to reduce crime and violence in America? As I was talking about in prolution number 1, where I talk about having that extra day in the middle of the week, I think that creates a societal type change. I believe that extra day in the middle of the week basically reignites family. People are no longer focusing so much on a day-to-day basis on work. Instead, they realize that they would have this day off in the middle of the week in which they can kind of regroup. They can kind of come back together as a family, spend time together, do fun social things together. I think that, in essence, if we can implement that, will also help to reduce crime and violence in America. We'll be more concentrating on growth of families, growth of individuals, growth of productivity and efficiency in our workforces. People will come up to a higher level of being, I guess is one way to look at it. Having said all that, once again, I would like to say thank you very much for your attention. My name is Bruce Bongart. Please take care.